Augments were one of the defining forces of Set 7, and they have taken a whole new twist in Set 8. The replacement of trait-specific augments with hero augments has completely changed the game, as they can drastically affect your board for better or worse. And in this video, I'll explain everything from the new hero augments, as well as provide a good consistent strategy on how to correctly choose your augment and play around them. In Set 8, each unit has 2 unique hero augments, one support augment and one carry augment. The support augment has a green border, while the carry augment has a purple border. Because of the sheer number of them, they are incredibly hard to balance, so there will always be overpowered and underpowered ones on every patch. It's important to keep up with the meta to understand the general power levels of these augments, so you should check out the tier list videos on this channel and the patch notes to stay up to date. 95% of all games in Set 8 will feature a hero augment, so you should always plan your strategy around them. Firstly, you should stay away from one-tricking comps. You should try to remain open to as many lines as possible, because you want to be able to take the best hero augment when they are given to you. In general, they are the things that most define your game, so you should try to always play around them and save your reroll if you can. If they are not the first or second augment, which hero augment appears for you is random on stage 2-1, but on stage 3-2 and 4-2, the hero augments and regular augments you get offered depends on the traits you had on your board during the previous round. Additionally, when you reroll your hero augment, you will always get augments of units of the same cost. For example, if you are shown augments for Zoe, Viego, and Zac, you would find augments for 1 3-cost and 2 4-cost units if you rerolled. However, you can no longer manipulate the traits on your board before rerolling your augment on the same turn like the last set. If the hero augment appears on 2-1, you should highly consider playing a reroll comp. A lot of these comps are strong only if you hit a hero augment for them, so you should make sure to know the boards for at least a select few comps, as you won't see or play them as often as the standard Fast 8 comps. When you play these 1 or 2 cost reroll comps, you should always keep the super trait in mind, as they are easy to fit onto these boards and provide great value if you are going for multiple 3-stars. Here are some of the best hero augments to play reroll comps with: Laser Focus, Stacks on Stacks, Edgelord, Oxyan Rage, Cyclone, Adaptive Defenses, Hextech Retribution, Guardian Spirit, Cull the Meek, and Unrelenting Force. Here are example boards for a couple of good reroll comps: Ashe reroll, Camille reroll, and Wukong reroll. If you don't play a reroll comp, what augment you choose depends on 3 things. Can you fit these weaker units into your late game board? Do they help your economy? Or are they strong enough to give you immediate tempo to put you in a good spot to pivot into a stronger board later? For example, Galio and Vi can fit into late game boards much easier than most other 1 and 2 cost units, so safety first and boxing lessons are good, safe options, while Raiders Spoils and Delivery Tips are good econ augments. Once you reach the late game, it's sometimes correct to drop these lower tier hero augments, as playing stronger units often outweighs the benefits of these augments. If you end up taking a hero augment for a 3-cost unit or higher, you should always play that unit onto your final board, as there's less reason to drop these units in the late game. Be willing to aggressively reroll these augments to find the best ones, as hitting the right one might just win you the game. 5-cost hero augments in particular are incredibly game defining, as they give you great board power and direction along with the augment on 4-2. Almost all general augments from Set 7 are returning to Set 8, with a few exceptions. Additionally, augments that were previously removed, like Makeshift Armor and Phony Frontline, have been reintroduced into the game. However, the most impactful change between the 2 sets is the nerf to many of the strongest combat augments from Set 7, and omission of trait-specific augments that aren't emblems or hearts, like Scorch or Oasis. Most of the general augments like Celestial Blessing, All 3 Cybernetics, and Thrill of the Hunt were nerfed. Because of these nerfs, the relative value of emblem augments goes up, especially strong, flexible spats like Aegis, Prankster, and Oxforce. Comp-specific emblems are also great, as they often allow you to drop low-costing units for stronger ones like threats or legendary units, which greatly improves your board strength. Here are some examples of how emblems fit into some of the most common comps. Sure Shot Spat allows you to drop Senna when you're carrying Aphelios or Samira in the 4 Sure Shot comp. Anima Squad Spat provides one of your units with a ton of bonus stats, as well as allowing you to drop Silas or Vayne. Hard Spat is especially strong on Zoe, especially with a blue buff, as she only has 30 mana and can stack your team's AP very quickly. Renegade Spat is one of the strongest spats in the game, as it both allows you to drop Talon from the Viego comp and also provides a great damage boost to a secondary carry. Ace Spat allows you to play the incredibly strong 4 Ace at level 8 without hitting Mordekaiser, and allows you to drop Draven in the late game. Duelist Spat allows you to play the strongest form of the Zed comp, while Admin Spat lets you drop Camille when playing 4 Admin on a Soraka board. Last but not least, Underground Spat. If you get it at 2-1, this opens up a great opportunity to find 5 Underground early, to try and go for that huge cash out, which can often win you games. If you see a silver or gold augment before you have taken a hero augment, you should try to preserve your reroll, not only because of the importance of hero augments, but also because of how flexible the set is. You can usually find use from the majority of augments. In set 7, they were pretty defined comps, meaning you would play the same units every game. In set 8, with the addition of threats and with the removal of dragons, you can play a bunch of different units in different comps, as many units function without traits. If you have extra AP items and augments, you can just play an extra Misfortune or Aurelian Soul, or a Belwith if you have AD augments and items. Augments like Knife's Edge and Battle Mage benefit greatly from the high flexibility, as they provide some of the strongest stat boosts in the entire game. In general though, you should make sure to understand when each augment is especially strong, as it allows you to compare it to how it would fit onto your current board. For example, Ascension is a really powerful damage augment, but only good if you have a very bulky frontline to support it. Axiom Arc is only strong if you have an AP carry who takes multiple kills from their ability and can chain them together to wipe boards, like for example Talia. Item and component grab bag are great when you have units on both your current and future board, which can hold any tank, AD, and AP items, especially with the lowered item flexibility from the removal of the Treasure Dragon. Be careful not to go too far ahead of yourself when choosing augments, as it's important that they can fit on your current board, and conserving HP is usually more important than a slightly higher late game upside, and will lead you to a more consistent strategy overall. If there's no augment that really appeals to your current board or future comp, general augments like Celestial Blessing, Sunfire Board, Portable Forge, Makeshift Armor, Component Grab Bag, and Second Wind are always solid. Other than hero augments, the most game-warping ones are Prismatic Augments. While most of them are just stronger versions of gold augments, like Stand United 3 or Duelist Crown, you should make sure to have a strategy for the more unique options. If you hit High Roller, you should make sure to know the units with the highest odds to use your loaded dice on, like Camille, Jax, Draven, and Senna. If you take it on 2-1, one of the best strategies is to play towards a threat board, as only threats will appear in your shop if you dice them, allowing you to have an upgraded 3-cost board towards the end of stage 2. Binary Airdrop is one of the strongest augments in the game this set, as it's very easy to play multiple strong carries on your board, and Binary lets you fully itemize all of them. Golden Ticket is usually best when you're playing 2 or 3 cost carries, as you get more value investing your gold into rerolling your shops than pushing levels. Ancient Archives 2 is very strong this set, as emblems are so flexible. If you get this augment on 2-1, consider popping the tome right away for immediate strength and direction towards a comp. If not, you should usually wait until you have 10 different traits on your board before using them, as you get tailored 3 emblems for your board. Birthday Present is the best tempo augment in the game, as it allows you to push levels aggressively and upgrade your board without rolling. You should only take this augment if you already have a strong board on 2-1, as if you fall behind, you're just down a Prismatic Augment and headed for bot 4. High-end shopping and level up were removed for a small portion of set 7 because they allow you to gain access to level 8 and 9 shops very early on into the game, which made dragon boards too accessible. They return in set 8 and function much the same way. They let you reach the capped legendary boards much more easily. However, you should only take these if you either have a ton of gold or a strong board. Much like Birthday Present, falling behind can leave you down a Prismatic, since you always need to have stronger units than your opponents to make up for the lack of combat power that your augment doesn't give. Now I'm going to provide specific examples of augments that fit best with certain units and comps. Some of the best pairings include Knife's Edge for Zed or Belveth, Triforce for Kaisa and Vayne, Blue Battery for Soraka and Zoe, and Axiom Arc and Cybernetic Uplink for Misfortune. If you plan to play a reroll comp, featherweights, and preparation are incredibly strong. If you hit double treble, the best comps to play are Kaisa, Bane, or low-cost reroll comps like Ash Reroll. One of the new augments is Threat Level Maximum, which gives HP to your board based on the amount of threats you have active. If you hit this augment, you should look to play vertical threats, with Aurelion Soul carrying your AP items and Belveth carrying your AD items. Your frontline with this augment will always be very strong due to the bonus HP, so prioritize getting your 2 carries itemized first. Other particularly strong augments to play with these threats include Makeshift Armor and Big Friend. As a last note, Built Different is much stronger in set 8 than set 7.5, as you can much more easily play a full board of high value units. This is a sample board for a level 8 board with no legendaries, with 8 different forecast units. Again, prioritize carry augments in this comp since you usually will have a strong frontline. Play 2 or 3 Ace so that you can deactivate the trait, and replace your weaker units with legendary units when you hit them. An example of a good level 9 board looks like this for that comp. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want cheat sheets for any of my comp guides, they're available for YouTube members and patrons, and links to those are down in the description. And if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 9,000 other players there who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care, and see you in the next video.